Welcome back to the Visual Voice. This week I'm going to share a really cool tip on how to make starbursts or sunbursts in your images. So I have to admit that for years, we're talking decades, I did not know how to do this consistently. I just thought that sometimes you got lucky and it did the starburst and sometimes it didn't. And I didn't know that there was a little trick to make it happen every time. And I'm going to show you how to do it today and then give you some kind of tips. The magic is simply the f-stop. The aperture needs to be at f22. That's it, seriously. So it kind of requires that you shoot on manual or maybe aperture priority. Either one will probably work. And also you need to have the sun just peeking around the edge of something. I'm going to show you a few images and give you a few tips on how to do it, but you will be prepared to go out and make starbursts anytime now. Let's take a look at some images. So let's start off with this image from France at Pont du Gard, which is a famous landmark. And you know, you don't have to do the starburst at sunrise or sunset. It can be peeking around the corner of anything. So a lot of times you'll get little starbursts and little sunspots and colors, but pretty much impossible to avoid those. You might have to retouch them out. Now here's a fun one. If you're gonna photograph a couple and you want that romantic shot, this is my first shot and it was like, blown out way too much, right? So here's a darker one, that's better, but it's still obliterating their faces. Finally, this is more like what I was wanting, but we have a double. It's like below their noses and above their chins. So one more time. Oh, now it's between their eyes and there's not much of a burst at all. Finally, that's the lucky one. So when you're doing this, you're like, okay, hold the kiss, and you're going up and down, over and sideways, and just trying to get the perfect alignment. But when you do, it's magical. This is her favorite image from the entire wedding. So this was before, this is after, and of course I got rid of all the hoses and things in the orchard and the poles and all that. But what a beautiful image. And it's very easy to do if you know the trick. I also do a lot of airplane shots, and this was from the Lincoln Air Show, and that's a nice shot right there, but this is a little bit lower. Now notice this is up at the top of the wings, but this sunspot is inside looking through the windows. I feel like that's more personal. Plus, I'm at a lower angle, so I see the light coming in below the plane and it really makes it pop. I think that one is a little bit better. Plus, I love all the blue sky. Now, I also do all the photography for the Aerospace Museum of California. I photograph the building all seasons, so we have nice current images for each season. Obviously, this one is wintertime. And, you know, the sky is pretty bleak and there's no leaves on the trees, but guess what? Using the sunburst makes it extra special. All you have to do is just put yourself right where the light is peeking over the edge. All right, so I also get to photograph some pretty amazing airplanes. This one is the C-53 Ruby Ann. She's a beauty. And that starburst makes her even more beautiful. Now I moved to the other side, and I don't have quite as much control over where it is depending on the plane. So I didn't think that was all that fabulous, but I noticed that the sun shining off the window caused enough of a glare to get a second spot. So then I'm like, ooh, maybe I can get two. So I moved over a little bit and I was able to get a double starburst on this one because it's peeking around the edge of the propeller and it's also shining off that window. So I was pretty happy with that image. Now you do have to be careful about where you put the starburst. So this one, you know, I moved over and it's out on the plane, but you know what? It distracts from the actual airplane. And who's the star of the show? It's Ruby Ann, not way out at the end of the wing. So while it's a great looking starburst, it doesn't do her justice. But here is the favorite plane in the entire air park. This is the A-10 Warthog, and the famous gun at the front is a rotating cannon. So if I put the sunburst right there on it, it looks pretty good. Now, if it's too bright, it completely obliterates. You can't even see it. And that's the most important thing on this famous airplane. So if I kind of missed it, right? Actually, right there is probably my favorite. Now, I did talk to Ivan, who works at Aerospace. He's the one that does a lot of the tours, and he can talk about this plane for a good 40 minutes, I think, and he knows all about it. But when I asked him, is this one better or this one? He said, this one is better because then it really shows off the guns and that beautiful silhouette. So you get to decide if you like the starburst right out there on the tip, or if you like it where you can see the guns up there. It's a pretty cool trick regardless. Oh, and here is the icing on the cake. This is from New York City. I think it's just shining off of a window. And that's all it takes to get a nice starburst. Okay, let me show you how to set up your camera. This is a Lumix G9 Mark II, but this will work on just about any kind of camera. What I'm going to do is put my mode dial to manual so I can set all the parameters. And you can see right back here, I'm at 40th of a second at f/6. So what I'm going to do is turn my f-stop, or my aperture, all the way to 22. That's the magic. And then for my shutter, I can't hardly hold it still at a 40th, so anything that's 60 or above is good. Now on your ISO, I'm at 200. Since I'm going to be shooting into the sun probably 100 or 200 is good. You may have to move that to get it to be just right, but the key thing is f/22, that's going to give you your starburst. And then you can set your shutter anything over 60 and your ISO as low as you can get away with. And that's going to be the magic trick. Now, if you're not used to shooting with manual, you can also put it on aperture priority. If you put it on aperture priority, you can't really change anything except for the aperture. So you'd put that on 22, it's going to set everything else for you. You could probably put it on ISO auto, and then it'll set that for you, and then it'll also set your shutter speed for you. So I think that will set you up for success. And now you can go out and shoot starbursts reliably. So there you go. It's a short one this week, but it's a very small detail that makes a big splash, right? So f/22 is the magic. You can either shoot on manual or on aperture priority, but you will consistently get that starburst whenever you shoot into the sun right at the edge of an object. Have fun this week, and here's your assignment. Go out and shoot a starburst. Any time of day, shining off any object, however you can make it work. Have fun! See you next Friday.